Hello, my pleasure to call to order the regular meeting of the Village of Cache Creek this March the 2nd, 2026. We have no delegations that I'm aware of. We have the minutes of the February 17th meeting. Could I have a motion to adopt as circulated?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Business arising from the minutes? Seeing none. Committee reports, Economic Development, Councillor Dubois.
I'd like to make a recommendation that council approve all items listed in the request letter from the Graffiti Days Committee.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. I think it's cheaper this year than it has been in the past. They were after $5,000 previously.
No, the highest one I think is 4, but yeah. That was when there was something special.
Budget and Administrative Services, that's me, nothing to report. Bylaw and Policy Review, Councillor Ranta.
Item number 1 is public feedback regarding the animal control bylaw on page 9. And I move that council receive and file the feedback regarding the animal control bylaw.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Item number 2, bylaw number 5-008, 2026, animal control bylaw. I move that council give second and third readings to bylaw number 5-008, animal control bylaw. Second.
Any discussion?
Well,
Councillor Ranta.
It's pretty clear on the information. There's been a tiny bit of feedback on Facebook when the village posted some of the changes. Some of the changes are kind of align our bylaw with other municipalities in British Columbia, and so also there's some efficiencies such as having more of a permanent model for dog licenses, for instance. And so, yeah.
Thank you.
Did I move the motion? Yeah. Okay.
It's moved
Seconded.
and seconded. Any further discussion? Councillor Dubois.
I noticed that we are moving towards allowing for up to 3 dogs without getting a kennel license, and I'm just not quite sure how I feel about that. I know 2 is a lot, but getting into 3 dogs, that's starting to develop pack mentality. It's identified as more than 2 dogs is identified as a pack in the document. I'm not sure why we feel the need that we could to go to 3 dogs for allowing for up to 3 dogs.
I think there were a
Councillor
number
Peters.
of households that were just not licensing 3 dogs. They still have 3 dogs. I can't remember reading through if there was a restriction on size. I would be.
I didn't see one on size.
Yeah, because there's a difference between 3 small dogs in a yard and 3 big dogs in a yard.
Yeah.
Can you guys speak up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Councillor Ranta.
when the committee discussed it, like that was one of the bigger discussions, and the rationale, like the 2 pieces of rationale that probably are the strongest for that would be the fact that there are households with 3 dogs in the community now, and that we haven't had concerns about that raised by anyone in the community. And then the other thing is that it just aligns us more in alignment with other municipalities.
Any further discussion?
I do have one thing. Kelly Ladowski's letter noted that there's a collar that you put on your roosters,
Yeah,
is that gonna be implemented into the policy?
I think at present we don't allow roosters. Councillor Ranta,
Go ahead.
Her letter was in defense of having roosters, but I know there's one in a backyard right behind my house right now that crows very regularly, and it is quite annoying, so it's not Ms. Ludowski's property this time, it's
No.
somebody else, but,
I know who that is.
yeah.
Councillor Ranta,
Yeah, that was another one of the bigger topics, and I think it brings us again more in alignment with most municipalities that don't allow roosters, and to make an exception that we allow roosters with this collar, I think would complicate matters, because one of the, I'd say from my perspective at least, the biggest complaint that I hear about isn't dogs, it's about roosters in the community. So I think that having a stronger approach to roosters is gonna meet the needs of the community better than a softer approach would be to allow them and then to have this device, which we didn't look into that, we've never heard of it before. I don't know about if the SPCA would support the use of a device like that, I'm just not sure. So I think that right now, the needs of the community really need us to have a no rooster rule.
thank you. Further discussion?
I did look into it a little bit, and the price tag on it is really cheap. Like, you can get 10 of its collars for $10.
Oh, well. Did you look into whether or not they work effectively?
It says they work.
It says they
It
work,
says
yeah.
that all it is a Velcro strap, more or less, keeps them from cutting into it.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Any further discussion? Councillor Dubois?
I just was wondering, under the fees, under kennel license, 4 to 6 dogs, it says $100. Is that $100 per dog, or is that just to get the kennel license?
That's what it can was.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? We're at second and third reading. Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you.
Bylaw 6-010, 2026 zoning and development of real property within the village of Cache Creek. I would move that council give first reading to bylaw number 6-010, 2026 zoning and development of real property within the village of Cache Creek.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
And I would move that council give first reading to bylaw number 6-011, 2026 official community plan for the village of Cache Creek.
Second.
Discussion. Councillor Peters.
Just a few things. That's a pretty comprehensive document. It took me about 2.5 hours to read it.
You're a better man than I.
A couple of concerns that I have is that I would personally like to see the removal of the 5% payment in lieu of putting a park into a new development. I believe green spaces are extremely important, especially given climate change and the proof that greenery helps in our carbon footprint. So that's one change I would like to see. And the other one is kind of just a concern that there's a lot of development requirements. Like one that kind of caught my eye was that if the building's longer than a certain amount, it has to have varied roof. It can't just be a flat roof. And I don't know whether, I'm concerned that with the number of restrictions that are listed in the OCP that we may discourage some development.
Yeah, I share your concern. 105-page official community plan. I don't know whoever reads it. I don't even know if staff reads it. But it's pretty daunting to try to get through the whole thing and understand it clearly. And I think it's probably more daunting to members of the public when you've got a document like that. And so, I would like to, see it trimmed down in some manner, if that's possible, or an executive summary prepared that goes through what it's trying to accomplish, or something
Kinda
like
is
that.
at the start, but, yeah, I understand the reasoning for some of the things. I also found there was some redundancies, things that were repeated like 2 or 3 times throughout the document.
Yeah,
That some of that could be,
streamlined a bit,
streamlined a bit to make it not quite so detailed, or so
voluminous.
voluminous, good word, yeah.
Councillor Aranda.
Well, just, you know, in defense of the document, like I think we were really fortunate to get the funding to have such a comprehensive community plan developed. It's been happening over time, and like, it's my belief that really a person, like, let's say a member of the public, wouldn't normally have to sit down and read the whole document, because they might not be developing, like, they might have more of a specific thing that they need to read in the document rather than the entire document. So I think that in kind of more in defense, like in the fine tuning of it, obviously tonight it's a first reading, so we're not looking at like adopting it right now regarding some fine details like what you mentioned about the 5% parkland. I think that when somebody is thinking of developing something, they will go to the specific section that applies to their property, to the type of development they're going to be doing, and with the, I guess, clarity that a comprehensive document gives, I think it might be more benefit to people like seeking that type of information. So personally, I'm not worried about the length so much, and if there is a way of taking out a little bit of the repetitions, that would, you know, obviously would be welcome. But I think that as times change, that it's very important for the village to have clarity on what we mean in this plan, and so I just thought I would mention that.
Thank you. Councillor Peters, when you're talking about the 5% parkland thing,
It's 5%.
I think it implies here that you could pay cash in lieu.
Yeah.
And it might be a benefit if we got cash in order to be able to combine that with other cash in lieu and buy a piece of property that would be a piece of parkland that would serve a neighborhood better than a postage stamp that might be there.
Yeah, I grew up in kind of neighborhoods that had little neighborhood parks with a basketball hoop and a swing and a picnic table. There wasn't a lot there, but I know that I used it as a child, and so my kids used them where we lived in Kelowna. Growing up, that was their favorite place to go. All the kids in the neighborhood would meet there. So beyond the green space piece of it, there's the community piece as well. I'm a firm believer in parkland, and so I will always be on the side of preserving that and encouraging it. So.
Thank you. Any further discussion on first reading? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. On to Public Works, Councillor Devert.
Nothing new at this time.
Thank you. Healthcare and Protective Services, Councillor Ranta. Oh, I'm sorry.
I have a conflict of interest with this item, so I'm going to step out.
So the Volunteer Firefighters Association request for insurance premium payment. The council approved payment of the $250 cost of associate member insurance for events hosted by the fire department. I move.
Second. Yeah, it's all good. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Okay, Dave. On down to emergency management, Councillor Peters.
Nothing at this time, just, I know staff are keeping an eye on snow levels and water levels. There was a little bit of rise in the creek this weekend, but the weather we're having right now is actually ideal. With the cold nights and the warm days, it promotes a slower melt, and that's what we want, so.
Thank you. Parks and Recreation, Councillor Ranta.
Okay, item number one, regarding the dance group request for the hall use. I move that council approve the request for free use of the hall for the dance practice session on March 26th.
I'll second it.
Discussion.
I don't really have any discussion, however, I think that's great.
I was just gonna say that it's nice to see, youth doing, like, both, all these motions are to do with youth being involved in things, and it's very nice to see.
Yeah.
And I would wish the young ladies good luck in their competitions.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Councillor Dubois.
I'm just wondering, what is the current policy that we're applying to some of the other groups like karate, badminton in the hall? Are they paying for their use or are they getting free usage of it?
They get one free use and then they are paying. But for long term, like karate, I think there is an agreement with them.
Karate pays, badminton doesn't, but it's a grandfathered thing from
Yeah.
many years ago, but I know Lions for their bingos and community rec and those things, we all pay, it's a reduced fee, but we do pay to use it, and we get one free use a year.
So I guess in the case of the dance group, then this would be their one for time free use. Yep. Fair enough, thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you.
The second item, Cache Creek Softball Association request for hall use, and I'll move the motion that council approve the Cache Creek Softball Association one free use of the community hall per week for indoor softball training. Second.
Any discussion? Councillor Dubois.
So just so to be clear, they're gonna get one free usage of it and then they're gonna be paying the regular reduced rate like karate would be at the end, or would they be
Now the
paying?
motion reads one free use per week.
We,
Councillor Ranta.
okay, if maybe what council would prefer is a clarification on that, because we, in the last couple of years, we did a revision of the recreation policy that included a revised fee chart for the community, for the facilities in I think that these requests come through to council, and this one is at council for, I think, because we have that provision in the recreation policy.
Councillor Peters.
I think that the fact that the softball association is entirely volunteer run, they do not get any funding from the village for anything else. And I think it's something that was here for many, many years and then disappeared because there wasn't an appetite for people to volunteer to get it going. And I, for one, would like to encourage as much as we can these things. Most of the other things that I'll use Lions again because that's my point of reference, is that we do raise money during these things. This is a purely recreational thing. There's no financial benefit to this group. It would be out of their limited funds that they physically fundraise for to keep this group going. And so I would be in total support of having them have the use of the hall.
Councillor Dubois.
My concern is just in fairness to the other user groups, that if we have a different policy for different groups, depending on, I'm concerned that we're not gonna be seeing consistency, so that's where I'd kind of like to see some direction from staff in terms of how is the policy being applied for other users, similar user groups, and follow that same sort of
Well, my
process.
understanding is if there's a financial benefit of using the hall, then that's the criteria for the only one use, but there is no financial benefit to these guys.
So is that, so for karate, is that,
They have a financial benefit, they charge fees for it.
I think one of the
Councillor Ante.
I could be wrong, but I just don't have a policy right in front of me, but I do believe that one of the other criteria strongly suggesting support is the fact that I believe it's for youth. And if it's for children and youth, I think the policy has a different category for activities that are for youth rather than just adults. So that's part of the rationale for providing, like having the opportunity to ask for it to be free.
And when the basketball group was active, there was no charge for them to use the hall, so.
And I
That's
think
been a precedent set.
Thank you, Councillor Ante.
sorry, I should have included this in my last statement. And I know that being on the other side of the decision-making process and hoping that council will fund a group like this when you're short of money and you're having to pay for liability and you're having a lot of different fees. These days, things have really changed. Your volunteers usually have to have training. There's like all kinds of considerations that it's very disappointing when council doesn't support something that's being provided in the community at a time when we ourselves aren't running any like recreation programs, like our recreation activity cost for running the village from the village's council's perspective. We depend on volunteerism and we depend on these groups for the viability of our citizens to have choices in their programs. And we know from the long list of recreation opportunities and activities that we distributed recently in the survey that there is a lot of programs that people can choose from, and these folks have been extremely successful, and it's just a great opportunity to be able to support them.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed, carried, thank you.
And number 3, this is for the Cache Creek Softball Association request for use of fields, and I move that council approve the request from the Cache Creek Softball Association for free use of the ball fields at the park. Second.
Any discussion? Councillor Dubois.
I'm just curious, they do have some terminology here about putting in a work bee day. My only concern is as long as it's not gonna be in conflict with any of the unionized work that's done by the village. That's my only comment that I wanted to make.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, carried, thank you.
Mayor Renta, if I may, in the vein of what we've just been discussing, the Cache Creek Softball Association, there's a young local player, Addison Minaveric, who was just named the Indigenous Minor Athlete of the Year by Softball BC.
Holy man.
That's one of our very own, so this program definitely has some value.
Yeah. Thank you. On to Landfill Advisory Committee. I have nothing to report on that front. TNRD and Intergovernmental Liaison. Frank Caputo was in the office last week, and I had a chance to chat with him, and having read his letter on page 206, it looks like he's looking for one specific item that he might be able to focus on as a request to the federal government. And my suggestion, and I would move that we notify MP Caputo that we are interested in receiving funding for seniors housing in the village of Cache Creek.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried, thank you. Cache Creek Community Fund, Councillor Dubois.
Nothing at this time.
Staff reports, we've got on page 207 and 208, the payments made by the village office, the checks signed by the mayor, I think. Could I move that we receive and file the report from CFO Martini regarding the February 2026 payments made by the village? Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed, carried, thank you. Information correspondence, one piece of outgoing, or one piece of incoming and one piece of outgoing. I think I would move that we receive and file the information correspondence. Any discussion? All those in favor? I couldn't figure out what you were doing. I don't think you could either. Yeah. I'm assuming we want to all sign the letter to Tumbler Ridge?
It's already signed,
Yeah, it's all signed.
it's all signed, yeah.
Okay,
Just
good.
have to mail it out.
I just had a follow-up to the correspondence from BC Hydro.
Yeah.
I know in the past they've provided some usage data for ours, the charging stations that we have here. Do you know if that information is gonna be provided to us again, or if that's, they're not doing that yet? That was my only question to staff.
Yeah, they didn't provide anything recently, but we can request that. I know that I requested from Tesla, but they didn't even bother providing this. It's too much for them.
Thank you. On to new business then.
I have one item that we didn't put on the agenda. It's for the council to decide on spring cleanup day. That will not coincide with the Easter long weekend possibly.
Is this gonna be a week-long event, or is it?
A week, oh, I don't know. I think last year it was a week. Yeah.
Usually do it in April.
Yeah.
I have no.
Whatever works best for public works.
Yeah, I have no opinion. I have nothing that I see in my schedule that would lead me to believe there'd be any issues with it. So, I defer to staff.
Were you suggesting the Easter long weekend?
No,
No,
maybe
Around
the
it.
next one. Maybe the next week.
the following week?
Yeah, but somehow not to get into the freshet season.
Right. So not too late.
Yeah. So the week of the 13th.
Yeah. So that's 13 to
17.
17. Alright.
We need a motion for that or?
No, I don't think so. So, yeah, I can have a presentation rather than.
Okay.
That's it from me.
Thank you. Any other new business? Questions from the public?
I have a question about the bridge.
Which bridge?
The one that's not there?
Oh,
That one.
the Quartz Road Bridge. Yeah, what's your question? Where the hell is it?
I'm assuming that you guys don't have control over that as provincial government, but what's the chances of at least putting a light in at the end of Stage Road so you can turn out there without taking your life in your hands to go left?
At the school.
If I may. So just a little bit of background, disaster financial assistance is what we're working under. And the rules that they have is to build it back the way it was, which is a culvert. And we know that that historically hasn't worked for us. It's what caused all the problems. So the village of Cache Creek, especially the staff in particular, have been advocating for a change. And so that's still a work in progress. We cannot begin any works until funding is approved. If you begin works before that funding is approved, you get zero funding.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
wasted your money.
it's a huge catch-22 thing, and it's very, very frustrating. You know, we're coming on 3 years of working on it. And as to the light, we did request that at one point, especially when the highway bridge was being built. and we got shot down, so.
Just wondering.
So I've been known to get out of my car and push the button and get back in my car, so the pedestrian light goes on, but,
In my working life, I've worked in the bridge industry,
oh yeah.
and I know two guys, a backhoe,
Yeah,
and 3 bridge modules, and it would be fixed in a day.
yeah, it's, we can't afford to take the project on our own.
I
We need
understand.
that government funding,
I
so-
understand the government's probably funding it.
Yeah.
So that's why I suggested maybe the light in lieu of
Yeah,
the bridge.
no, it's been an ongoing frustration for all of us.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we're all interested in seeing a bridge go back there. It's just a matter of trying to get it done in the right way so that you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah, I understand how it works. The bridges we built were built by logging companies, and after a while, any culverts that were over a certain diameter, they replaced with bridges because they had them blown out all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're working on a full corridor plan, so it won't just fix that one spot, it'll fix some of the roots of the problems as well, so.
right, I just was curious.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Councillor Ranta.
Regarding the light, you know, that would be wonderful to have a light there. We did meet with Ministry of Highways at UBCM at least 2 years ago and advocated for a light there. And we were told that it's too close to the existing light
To the Highway
allow
197.
a light. So it's too, there's a certain rule about the number of meters away that the next light can be. And so that doesn't, like, by a lot fall in that. But yeah, we've been having discussions about safety along the highway, and if you're interested, there is a committee being formed to talk about highway safety in Cache Creek, and I think the invitations just haven't gone out, so if you're really super interested, you can join that group.
I just don't like the thought of turning in that direction in my car, cause there's a lot of traffic. And then there's a pole on right there, so you can't see the traffic that's coming on
Yeah.
inside lane till you're out far enough to get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to drive, I've had 4 children go through the elementary school. I used to drive them to school every morning. And it was taking your life in your hands every once in a while to get across there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not turning, it's going straight across. But we all survive one way or another. Any other questions from the public? Seeing none, questions from the press?
Nothing today.
Thank you. We have need of a closed session pursuant to section 90.1 and 90.2 of the community charter. Could I have a motion to that effect?
So
Any discussion? All those in favor?